The next time you come in, these should be plenty dry, so go ahead and pull your clamps off. Now, if any glue seeped out, it's going to be really hard to push out. So I can feel this side is loose. This side has a little, it's tight. I can't push it. There's a little glue there. So we're going to do it, take a little hammer and try to tap right here and hopefully break that glue off so we can pull it out. There we go. That's what I'm hoping. One tap does it. So it does come out just fine. Now, even though I pop it out, it still opens up a little bit and it loses its shape a little bit. Now take this 4-stack mold and you're going to replace it with one that's only 2 thick. Okay, so take this, bend it back into place, put it back in the mold like that. There we go. That way it keeps its shape, but now I have access to the top edge, and that's going to be important later on. So I can push it halfway through, whatever, you know, it still sticks out on both sides. But keep it in this mold for the rest of the time until we have the top and bottom glued on. Now we're going to show you how to make your own kerfing. Now we're at the bandsaw now, and this is a little jig that I made that sets up. I'm happy to help you set it up, but I want to show you how to do it if you want to try it on your own. We have a clamp in the back here. It's kind of hidden behind my arm here. This clamp holds down one side to the table. Here's the other clamp. You can just see it on the edge of the camera. It's clamped down to the table so it doesn't move in and out. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see that the blade is extended a little bit past the edge of this board. So I take my kerfing and put it right next to it. They're almost the same. The edge of the tooth almost comes to the edge of the board. Not quite, and that's kind of the key. So I've just put this in about the right place. And so from here, I'm going to take a few little cuts. The idea is that it's going to cut almost all the way through this board, but leave enough so that it'll be flexible. As I make multiple cuts over and over and over, this board will be able to flex and curve. Okay? So let's try it and see what happens. You want it up highway, so it's not laying flat, it's laying vertical. Goes all the way in, and I pushed it in, and that's not quite enough. There's a little bit too much left, I can't bend it. So I simply take a hammer or a piece of wood or something like that, just something, and kind of whack the right side back a little bit. There we go. And we just do it again. That's closer, but it's still a little bit more. That's better. Okay, there's a little pencil line on the other side of this blade. I know it's hidden on the camera, but it's there to show you. I line my first cut with a pencil line and make multiple cuts. These little cutouts are for my fingers to sit in. You go down the entire length of the board. You don't have to make them, they're not going to be perfectly even, but get as close as you can. And as you get through, you see that these will bend nice and, you know, they're going to bend around our ukulele. When you're done making your kerfing and you're going to make 4 pieces, there's one for here, one for this side, and then you flip over and 2 more. So this kerfing goes inside along the edge and inside along this edge, so it gives me something more to glue to than this 1/8 inch material. So we start, and by the way, these break all the time, so please don't worry if they break. It won't matter, we're just going to glue the backs on. So grab one of them, you can see the end of mine just fell off. Stick it in, it goes over there. Okay, so I've got a little bit left, that's fine. So this one is fine the way it is. Okay, and so I can glue this in and I'll break another piece and fit it in here. So for example, let's see if this one stays together enough for me to get around. Okay, we get all the way around and we see how much we need and we just break it off where I know this will fit and so forth, and do that for each piece. So let's say this one, the one I just measured, gonna put a little bead of glue on the back and we're gonna glue it in. And then we simply use a whole bunch of these clothespins to put them in, to keep them tight against the side. So again, don't need a ton of glue, but we want every surface to be covered. So a little line of glue. Use your finger to kind of spread it around in the back so everything has a little bit of glue. You got a wet paper towel so I can kind of wipe it off my fingers because I don't want to get glue on the outside of this if I can help it. Don't worry about all the fuzzy that the bandsaw left. None of that's going to be seen. It's not going to be in the way. And then gently put that in place best you can. All right, then we just start, make it as flush as you possibly can with the top edge of your sides and just start putting the clamps on. And I'm going to put a lot of them on, and they're right next to each other, and I want even pressure all the way around. The worst thing you could do is to have the kerfing too low. That's a big problem. That'll be difficult to fix. We can fix it, but you won't like it. It's a lot of work of sanding to get this down to where this is. So I'd rather have it protruding too high because I don't mind sanding that off. That's easy. So I know it's hard to understand right now, but when we get to that spot, I'll mention what's going on, why it was important. Okay, and just work your way around. Repeat on the other side as needed. There, I've got them all on, and we got to let that dry for, again, the 30 minutes. Then we'll flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. One side is dry, take all these off, you might as well save them. Then let's do the other side.